what if divisional realignment never happened? As in, we still had the AL West, the AL East, the NL West, the NL East. We still had 2 divisions in each league.
Okay. I'm very excited.
Okay. So, but the difference is that rather than just going straight to the league championship series, we added 2 wild card teams.
For sure.
Okay. And the way that those 2 wild card teams are added is there's just one additional team in each division. So
Okay.
it's not, so you can't have 3 teams from the West and 1 team from the East, right?
Right.
It's got to be 2 from each, and you go in, you play like the divisional round, and then you play the league championship series. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you go to the World Series. So, and this is, so I did some looking here, and since 1994. And I guess you can't really count 94 because there was no postseason. So 1995, which was the first year there was a postseason with the realignment, the only World Series winner who would have not made the playoffs during that time break was the 2006 Cardinals.
Really?
Every World Series winner would have been in those top 4 in their league every single year,
You're
other than the
kidding me.
2006 Cardinals. So I looked at what the playoffs would have been that year. The American League would have been the Yankees, Twins, White Sox, and A's. The National League would have been the Mets, Phillies, Padres, and Dodgers.
Okay.
So I took the 2 teams that advanced the farthest in their respective playoff brackets out of that group. So the A's would have ended up playing the Mets in the World Series because the actual World Series was the Cardinals and the Tigers.
Right.
Tigers are not in that group either. So you've got the A's and the Mets in the World Series, and then I based the result of that World Series on who played better in their championship series. The A's forgot to show up. They got swept, and it wasn't even close against the Tigers. So you cannot give it to them. The Mets took the Cardinals to 7 games. So the Mets are your new 2006 World Series champions.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
not a whole lot of storytelling going into that one. Mostly just research and conjecture, right?
Yeah.
And transitive properties. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting to look at that and look at how things might have been differently. And of course, like you've got to account for the Brewers being in the American League the entire time, the Astros being in the National League the entire time, right? Which I didn't do necessarily, other than just being like their record in their current spot as it is. I did look at the Brewers and the Astros compared to where they would have been based on like if the Astros had still been in the NL West, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the AL West. I did, but honestly, the Astros and the Brewers were so bad for a lot of that time.
Oh,
No
yeah.
impact. No impact.
I agree.
So, and when they were good, when the Astros were good, they were so good again. No impact. So
totally.
Yeah, it's fascinating though. It was really interesting to go year by year and look at the standings and like, oh man, yeah, that team wouldn't have been in the playoffs that year.
That's interesting. I like that.
And the Mariners have several more appearances, as I've said over the years.
Yeah, right. Yes, we know that.